I'm not introducing Elot Biszak to you, but Sándor Biszak is the father to Sándor come. So we are happy to welcome the Chief Executive Officer of Arcanum database in Budapest, and he will deliver the speech of his son. The title is Mapire, or What to Do with Old Maps. And as you say, the two lectures, I guess, match very well to each other.
Thank you very much. Unfortunately, my colleagues got ill, and this is why I make a presentation to you. Unfortunately, I cannot see on my computer. I just see the same like you, so it's a little bit difficult to me. Okay, the Mapire, I speak about the Mapire to you. The Mapire is a website. This is mapire.eu, owned by the Austrian State Archive, and it contains the historical map of Habsburg Empire. I hope at the end of the lecture we will change the name of the website. We will think about it. So the Mapire contains old historical, and it's important, very detailed maps. We don't work with the World Atlas, we don't work the European maps, we work with the detailed European maps. For example, the Josephinische Aufnahme, this is the first military survey of the Habsburg Empire. The first military survey was made in 1760 from the whole Habsburg Empire. In that time, the Belgium was the part of the Habsburg Empire. It was the Austrian Netherlands. So this was the cover of the maps. This is the cover of the maps. It contains 5,000 map sheets, 5,000 A2 map sheets, and this covers the whole empire. And you can see the original border of the different countries. Somebody speak about the original, the old border. The map is very, very detailed. You can see every house in every village, in every settlement. You can see the real picture of the Bjelovar. Bjelovar is a Croatian part of the Habsburg Empire. And you can see Bjelovar in 70-60 about, 70-80 about. And you can see every village on the Habsburg Empire. This was the first maps. I think this is the best maps in the world. I'm sure that it is in the Kriegsarchiv. It's one copies. It is manuscript maps, and I think it's artistic. It's beautiful maps used by the Austrian army. So it was made in, and we can change the opacity, and we can see today OpenStreetMap we overlap the maps, and we can see today maps. The second military survey was made in 80-20 about. The territory is different. The territory contains Lombardia, Italy, but it does not contain Belgium. It was not part of the maps, and we can see the same Bjelovar in Croatia. And we can see the difference between the two maps. The second military survey is far more precise, and the drawing is nicer. Maybe the order is nicer, and we can change the opacity again. It is very important that the accuracy of the map is very precise. In this case, about 100 or 150 meters is the difference with the old and with today map. In the case of the first survey is a little bit bigger, because the original map is not too precise, but the second military survey is very precise. The most important part of the Mapire is the military survey. The second is the cadastral map. The military survey scale was about 1 to 28,000. It's very, very detailed. but the cadastral maps was made in 1850 in the whole empire, the whole Habsburg Empire. But in this case, the scale is 1 to 2,800. So it's 100 times bigger, 100 times detailed than the military surveys. One sheet of the military surveys, 100 sheets in the cadastral maps. The cadastral maps, if we see Bielovar again, it's very, very detailed. We can see the original settlement border, for example, and we can see very detailed maps. You can remember that we saw Bielovar, but it's far more. We can see the house, we can see the parcella, we can see maybe the grandmother in the maps. So the very detailed maps can see. Yes, you can see the accuracy of the map. In this case, about 10 or 20 meters. The accuracy of the map is 10 or 20 meters because of the very detailed map. So, okay, so this is the main basic of the empire. The military survey covered the whole empire, the first and the second and the third, and the cadastral maps. We can work the cadastral maps in Hungary. Unfortunately, there are many missing regions where the cadastral map does not exist. For example, in the case of Croatian, we digitized the whole Croatian cadastral maps, and we digitized some parts of Ukraine, which was part of the Habsburg Empire in the middle of 19th century. So for example, the Croatian maps is almost the whole. In Hungary, unfortunately, there are many missing maps, but in Ukraine there are good enough. This is the main part of the empire, but in this year we began a new development, and we are working on the different new maps. For example, we are working with the city maps, very detailed city maps. In the case, for example, it is Moscow sometime. Nobody knows when was this map made. Maybe Napoleon drew this map in Moscow, but it is very detailed again, and very old maps, and similar that we can see the different. Yes, and there is another one about Moscow. Unfortunately, nobody knows the time of the maps, but we can change, and maybe the researcher can define the time of this map. So we try to collect different maps. We have Moscow, we have London, we have Paris from 1739, and we can compare again the Sina. There is the Sina. Making the map higher, there are many important institutes we are working with. The most important is Austrian State Archive. The Austrian State Archive treasured the military survey, the city maps, the Hungarian State Archive, the military survey, the cadastral maps of Hungary. We are working with the Croatian National Archive with the Croatian cadastral maps, and Ukrainian regional archive in Beregovo to digitize the Ukraine part of the cadastral maps. And the next step is to digitize and publish the different countries. The first is the Cassini map from French. This is the Cassini map, I think in 1760 about, and to publish it in the Empire, the Cassini map. Now we are working in south part of Bavaria. We found a beautiful manuscript map in Kriegsarchiv about Bavarian. We found unknown maps. It was unknown for the Italian people, the whole Italy from the 1830, and it will be a big sensation, I think. So in this week, in this year, in this summer, I hope we will publish many different manuscript map from the Kriegsarchiv to the Empire. We are working many institutes, as I told you. For example, in December we were in Brussels in the Royal Library of Belgium, and we redigitized the same Austrian Netherlands, because they have different copies. They have maybe a better copies of the maps, and we brought the scanners to Brussels, digitized the maps, and we will publish soon the next version of the Austrian Netherlands. The digitizing is the first step, but the most important step, as you know, the georeferencing. Just 1-2 sentences about georeferencing, which is the most important part of the publication. The georeferencing means that we make maps from image. If we scan a map, it's only an image. But we need maps, so we have to make a georeferencing. It means, on my side, that we define GPS coordinates for every pixel of the images. If we define the GPS coordinate, the maps is georeferencing, and in this case we can publish it on the Google Maps, OpenStreetMaps, because we have every information about the map. We are working with the Hungarian university. There are many important guys in the geophysics department in Budapest. They are working since 20 years with the old maps. So this is our scientific background, and they are working from the old projection system, just for the professional old projection system. How did the old peoples make the two-dimensional maps from the Earth? This is making the maps means that I make a two-dimensional maps, two-dimensional paper from the Earth. And the georeferencing means that we can go back from the two-dimensional maps to the three-dimensional Earth. For example, we can see in three-dimensional way the French, for example, if it works. So we can see in three-dimensional way, we can fly above the old maps, and we can see and we can understand better the contents of the maps, because we can see the rivers, we can see the valley, we can see the different meanings of the maps. Okay, so for example, the three-dimensional. So the georeferencing is the most important key, and we hope we have a big experience with it, and we have scientific background with the scientific people, so we can solve every problems with the old maps. So this is the new life of the Mapire that we start to publish outside of the Habsburg Empire. You can see here the different institutes we are working with. I would like to tell you some words about the popularity of the Mapire. We are very proud of it that about 2,000 unique users come to the Mapire every day, and about half of them from Hungary and others from outside. So I hope that it's a well-known product in the world, and well-known product for the people who like the old map and who want to see the grandmother house 200 or 300 or 200 years ago. So the popularity is very good. The next important question, that it is financed by Arcanum. So it was free for the Croatian National Archive, it was free for the Austrian State Archive. So we are ready to finance the project, ready to improve and to increase the territory of the Mapire. So if anybody has old, historical, detailed maps, we are ready to cooperate with him, and we are ready to digitize, we are ready to make a georeferencing, and we are ready to publish it on the internet. There are some new, after Mapire became a popular website, some researchers come to us and ask to publish, for example, the österreichische Stadtatlas. It contains 66 volumes of the history of different Austrian towns. It contains the history, contains the different maps, the cadastral maps, and we have a publication of the österreichische Stadtatlas on the map iron. So the different things we can publish is a database of full text searching. If we have map-IR, if we have historical maps, we can use it in different way. For example, we have many postcards from Europe. We have 300,000 postcards from Europe, and we can publish it on map-IR. We can publish on old maps. Yes, and the today maps if I change the opacity. And for example, we can see the different, if we are in Austria, and we can see the number of postcards, as in, for example, I have many postcards from Vienna, and there are a competition, a crowdsourcing competition, that the people can define the exact coordinates. For example, I don't know what is this, Hotel Astoria, and we can see the postcards on the maps, almost. Oh, it is here. So, it is 1917. This postcard was sent in 1970, and we can see the maps. So there is a competition, and who make the best word, he received the Arcanum product and the Arcanum medal. So it's a very, very detailed postcards, and we have many postcards. Unfortunately, we don't have Marburg, because we are working on Habsburg Empire. We have many Belgium postcard, we have many Czech and Slovakian and Croatian. Unfortunately, there is no Marburg maps. And we can publish unlimited pieces of data on the old maps. So we can handle at 1 million objects on the old maps. I think it's a good solution to publish GPS coordinates and postcard. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for another very impressive project leading us into the world of maps, cadastral maps and others. Are there questions?
Yes. Very interesting, really very interesting. Do you plan an interface, an API for just using it in a big data context, or as a Sparkle endpoint for ADF?
Yeah.
Are there any ideas?
Yeah, we have many ideas. I think the Austrian colleagues left.
Yes, not all.
Everybody, not all.
The most important still.
I think the main question since 5 or 4 years when we developed the map-IR. Everybody wants to use as a layer from outside. But unfortunately, we don't have a permission from the Austrian State Archives. And this is the reason why we cannot serve what?
The maps or
yes, there is an exact name of the. Okay, I will. So unfortunately, there is no permission from the. It is a big success that after 10 years we started the work 10 years ago, and it was big success to publish it on the internet. It was 10 years fighting against the Austrian State Archive. If they left.
When you search for this village you showed us, Belova, you use the modern name. Is it also possible
yes.
to search by historic?
Yes. We use the Google search. We use the Google name search. I'm very happy with the Google. So I think it's. I can imagine that in the future there will be a better. For example, this is the name of Andrásfalva. It is in Bukovina. It was never Hungarian. We have Hungarian name, but the Google found it. So we use the Google name search. This is the answer for your question, that we use the Google search name. I think it comes from the GeoNames or GeoGazetteer by Google. But the Google knows, in my experiences, according to my experiences, knows very well the old names, old historical names. You don't agree with it? Yes, you are right, maybe. So we use the Google GeoNames search in the Mapire.
I wonder whether you know about Photomarburg with the huge holdings of things like your postcards have shown. Could you interlink to these external resources if you want to show a building like you showed us?
The postcard?
Yeah. I mean, there are many photographs. In Photomarburg. Which, do you know it?
Photomarburg, no.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Somebody should tell you. Proceed with the discussion.
Thank you. Are you aware of other websites very similar to yours? I have one here. It's called ramsey.geograph.com. Does exactly what you do. I have a map of Russia.
Ramsey, yeah. Yes. I told you that maybe we rename the Mapire. It is not Habsburg Empire, it's a European empire. But I hope that in this year we will be the European empire. Next year I hope that we will be the World Empire. The Ramsey is the biggest archive in the United States, in Stanford University, I think. In the beginning, I told you we are not working with the atlases. Ramsey work with the atlases. Ramsey doesn't have a detailed maps. But this is the main difference between Ramsey and the Arcanum, that they don't have a detailed map. They don't have, for example, a common point is the French Cassini. They have the French Cassini. This is the more detailed map in Ramsey. And we re-scanned again, and we make we hope that better georeferencing like Ramsey. So we know the Ramsey, but Ramsey does not have a detailed map, does not have a cadastral map, does not have a military survey. And they have many American maps, yes, they have many beautiful, and they are the first one. We hope we are the third one.
Actually, my research, I'm more interested in European maps, but also outside of the scope of your website. So is it correct when I sum up the situation that Ramsey covers more territory than you, but you have more detailed maps?
Yes. I tried to make a connection between Mr. Ramsey, but I didn't receive a feedback. I would like to visit him, but until now it was not successful. Yes, they have many maps. Yes, it's true that we have many maps from Hungary. So we publish Hungarian maps and Hungarian archive. Every maps in Hungarian archives is digitized by us. So we digitize 100,000 or 200,000 map sheets without georeferencing. So in my database published in Hungary has many other maps. We speak about, in the case of Mapire, about georeferenced detailed maps.
I was wondering if you came across a project which was implemented about 10-12 years ago. It was called VigMap, so it was dealing with digitized historical maps. It had a lot of contributions from Spanish and Portuguese and Italian repositories, and the aim was to align name places in historical maps with the current names. I was actually trying to find, but on my phone I was not very successful. If these maps still reside, they should be hopefully somewhere in the digital space. And I was just wondering, because probably this was one of the early projects in this domain, to collect historical maps in Europe. If you know about
So we are interesting Hessian maps, we are interesting Portuguese maps, we are interesting everything, and it would be a very huge interesting project to write every name from the military survey. As it is my big idea to write every name from the second, for example, the second military survey. But now it's too huge to us, and sometimes it is always impossible to read the maps. But it's an important project. The names always. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much again. Thank you very much to everyone this morning who delivered speeches, and of course thank you to the audience for all your questions and comments. We're at the end of our convention, at least this part. I think the READ people are still working. I have one formal thing to say. In the beginning of our convention, we said that everyone who wouldn't like to be filmed and whose speech to be published on YouTube should inform Mr. Roberg, contact him. The same is true if you don't like to have your PowerPoint presentations online. We didn't point this out. So if there's a problem that you say, no, I don't, this is not in a state, or for whatever reason you don't want to have it published, please inform Dr. Roberg. Okay.
Regarding this, I would be very interested to see, ask whether what was presented yesterday in the 10-minute slots after the short, later the afternoon after the short presentations, the results of the trials, I would be very interested in getting hold of that.
Maybe Günter Mühlberger is among us. Maybe you can say something about that when I've just finished, okay? Yeah, I would like to say a few final words as alternate director of the State Archives of Marburg. I want to thank you very much, or say thank you very much to all the speakers for their lectures and presentations, to the leaders or the chairs of the sessions, and especially to the audience for their comments and questions. I think we got fascinating and inspiring insights into the capabilities of digital technology in providing access to the content of archival material. And we had fruitful discussions so that the meeting of technology and scholarship indeed worked out very well these 3 days. And the convention fully served its purpose. Special thanks to Günter Mühlberger and Francesco Roberg for the concept of this convention, but even more for the vast organizational work in making this come true. And thanks to our staff in the background who were of great support. To come to an end, I hope you had a good time in Marburg, interesting encounters, and go back with lots of new ideas. So from my side, safe travels and best wishes for your projects, but don't leave us right now, because we have prepared a lunch break for you, as we did every day, in the hall, to which you are all heartily invited. And I think our two organizers, Dr. Mühlberger and Dr. Roberg, also would like to address you for a few final words. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. And first of all, I would like to apologize that we were not able to take part in this interesting section. It would have been very inspiring to listen to your talks. I saw the last 5 minutes. I already knew it, but it's really great to see the people behind. And for me, It was, of course, an experiment, especially yesterday, to meet each other and to go through images. And you have seen in our reactions that we had several talks beforehand. But without actually knowing the background, it's often hard to understand really the internal structuring, the internal content, the regions of interest of historical documents. And this, I think, was one of the lessons we learned, and it was also part of our talks, internal talks yesterday, that the IT people were fascinated by the domain knowledge, by what is actually, what can be read out, what can be found in these documents, which look rather similar from a technical point of view, but contain such rich information. So for us, it was very, very interesting, and I'm really thankful also for the speakers who prepared the documents and tried to explain it to us. And of course, we are very happy to repeat such things or to improve such a dialogue. And we are very open. And once again, thank you that we can be here.
Our pleasure.
And we hope that some of your expectations will be met in the next years. Thank you.
Hello to all of us. Something very pleasant now for all of you, because it's definitely the last presentation of our convention I'm doing here. Since two people, our vice director and Günther Mühlberger, said thanks to all of you, I might repeat it again. Thank you to the speakers, to everybody, for your very nice and very warm feedback you gave us, not only presenting things, not only asking, not only commenting, but in the meanwhile having a coffee, networking. We had a lot of very nice comments. Thanks a lot. I personally, at the beginning, said that it would be a dream, it would be something I would like to do, to make two worlds meet, and I think the first steps are done. I personally learned, me as an archivist, I personally learned that handwritten text recognition is not something handwritten text recognition, but consists of a lot of very different methods, very different tries to improve this technique. And I would like to point out that, of course, everybody knows how revolutionary it would be to improve this technique. And as an archivist, I was a little proud to know that even if there are these search and read engines, there is so-called domain knowledge still requested, given by the archivist. This is maybe a little conclusion of the first day. The second day is where, as you will have seen, we try to provide some documents. We try to make clear in the archivist's round what are archival items with biographical data in an aggregated way. In the second part of the second day, we try to apply some sorts of the READ projects. An extra thank you because, as I said yesterday, quite out of the blue, you showed us some exceptionals, some examples of how to do so. And today, the third day as well, tries to close the circle, explaining to us what could happen, what will happen if we have working handwritten text recognition, if we then have millions and billions of data sets, and what can be done with these data sets. So to come to a conclusion, as Günther Mühlberger said, we must stay in contact and we must talk to each other, computer scientists, historian and archivists. And now you're warmly invited, as you already said. There is something like a chili prepared for you. Mangiamo e buon viaggio. Thank you.
Okay.